Alright, I finished another book. One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serle. Let's get into it. First half, spoiler free. Second half, balls to the wall. One Italian Summer. Loved it. I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I listened to it in audiobook. The narrator was awesome. The story was good. It was very different than what I was expecting, I'll be honest. But it caught me by surprise in a pretty good way. It follows a girl named Katie. Okay, trigger warning, moms. I'll put the trigger warnings up here, actually. I feel like there were a good bit of them, but maybe I'm lying. Anyway, it follows Katie. Her mom just died. Her mom was like the rock of her life, whatever. I didn't know this was a mom dies book. I'll be honest, I didn't know that. My mom just died, guys. Like over a year ago, but it feels like yesterday. Anyway, this book almost triggered me, but it was so good in the way that it actually healed me a bit. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, okay? She's going through it, obviously. Her and her mom always had this dream of going to Positano, Italy. Hey, what's up? What's up? I have 5 seconds. Yeah, okay. Alright, bye. Anyway, where was I? Okay, her and her mom always had the dream of going to Positano, Italy. Her mom had cancer, so it was like a slow death, so they were planning to go. Katie, in her delusional head, thought that her mom was gonna go with her. I'm disassociating right now because I'm thinking too much about my life. Basically, Katie ends up going to Positano without her mom because her mom dies, okay? She ends up somehow meeting her mom when she was her age, okay? When her mom had been in Positano, I don't know how to say it, Positano. And the story goes from there. And it was really wholesome, actually. And I was kind of confused because I'll be honest, I didn't read the synopsis of this book before I picked it up. I'll put the Goodreads synopsis up here so you can read it. Anyway, it was healing, bro. It was weird. The book was good. It had some twists and turns. I was excited for Katie. I wanted her to heal and actually get better. And honestly, I would recommend this book. If your mom just died, maybe not. If your mom died a year ago, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? It was healing in a way, and it made me think of my mom, like what she would have been like if I would have met her at my age, right? Do I think we would have gotten along? No. It would have been cool to see my mom at this age. Yeah, it would have. It was a good book. The author does an insane job at creating the world in your head. And I don't know if it was the narrator of the book or just the way that it was written, but it was so beautiful. Everything was tangible. Everything felt like it was right in front of me. It felt like I was in it. It felt like I could feel the temperature of the air while I was reading the book. And that's very specific, but if you know what it's like to read a book that is so perfectly described and depicted, you know what I mean when I say that I could feel the temperature of the air when I was reading the book. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5, maybe 4 to be honest, if I'm feeling generous one day. I wouldn't read it again, but I would definitely recommend it. It was like a breath of fresh air, to be honest. It was good. It was a good book. I listened to it pretty quickly. It was a 6-hour book, so it's not even that long, to be honest, if you were gonna read it anyway. I feel like you could read it in a day, and if you're busy, maybe 2. Anyway, let's go balls to the wall now, details and spoilers. Bro, I was so confused. I was so confused. Is that Carol? Is it really her mom? Because I didn't read the synopsis, so I had no idea that she had gone back in time somehow. And also, does that make this book a fantasy book or some type of like weird sci-fi going on? I don't know. At a lot of points in the book, I thought she was gonna wake up from a dream because what was going on there? And also, the ending was so wholesome. And also, how she was describing what it felt like to have your mom dead while you're alive was so real, bro. So real that it had me smiling in a way of like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And when I say that this book healed me, I didn't cry once, which was even surprised for me because once I realized that this book was about her mom dying, I kind of was like, all right, I'm ready to get triggered. Everything felt healing. Who's honking right now? Everything felt like I was understood. I feel like this author, there's no way she could have written this book without her mom dying too. Let me see if Rebecca Serle's mom is dead. No, bro, New York Times cutting you off if you don't have a freaking subscription to read a freaking article. What's up your ass, bro? Relax. Okay, I don't know if her mom died or not. If she wrote this book without understanding what it's like to have your mom pass, there is an insane amount of empathy and sympathy in this woman. Like, there is no way. No, her mom has had to have died. There's no way. Like, the way she described feelings and the lack of feeling and the missing feeling, and like, it was so real. And it was so engulfing, and it was so, I feel understood. I felt understood reading this book. There were so many times, and I'm gonna cry right now. No, I'm not, but I am. There were so many times where I was like reading, and I caught myself just smiling with like a sense of appreciation and a sense of awe and wonder that I was like, wow, she gets it. Like, I feel understood right now. Like, she is seeing me right now. okay? It was super wholesome. And I genuinely, like, the more I talk about this book, the more I'm like, you know what, it might be a 4 out of 5 stars, you know? Because it healed something in me. It healed something in me. Anyway, her having a full affair, does it count if it happened when she was not alive? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it count when it was back in time? Who knows? But also, I know that that was healing for her, in a way. And also, I love that she came back around to her husband and was like, you are actually it for me. And also the disconnect that she felt after her mom passed to everybody that loved her and she loved before. Real, dude. Real. Nothing realer. Like, take a shot every time I say real, but for real? Loved that she was like slaying the outfits every day, okay? I felt like I went on vacation reading this book. I'm not joking. I want to go to Italy. The love interest or whatever his face is, Antonio, I forget. He was like weird, but like I love that it wasn't about him. Like nothing was about him. Love that. I love that it was all about Katie. Also, it was super refreshing to see Carol in her youth, because a lot of times I catch myself thinking, what was my mom like at this age? Was she unhinged? Was she unstable like I am? Like, was she fun? Was she annoying? Was she like, what was she like? What was she like? Would we have gotten along? I would do a lot of things. Wow, a white van just drove in front of me. I would do a lot of things to be able to experience my mom with her and I being at the same age. You know, my mom was a real one, bro. And this is not gonna turn into a therapy session, but I love this effing book. I love the characters in this book too. Like Nika being Monica at the end. Like also the hotel owner, so cute. The boat driver, so cute. Like everybody was so wholesome and welcoming. And like the way that Carol, before she passed, had called the hotel and been like, hey, like my daughter's coming and I need you to like make everything the best for her, like crying. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. It was a 6-hour book, so it was really short, but it took me, I think maybe a week to finish it because I was just really busy, but worth it. And I just feel a little bit more whole after this book. And you know what? I'm starting to feel like I want to read books that just make me feel a little bit more whole this year. Because what else is the point? Obviously, there's like the side of like learning things, but this was such like a pointless book, but it healed my ass. What? Bro, it was like a freaking romance book, but it wasn't. It changed me. Anyway, Rebecca Serle, nicely done. Thanks, bro.